Howdy, peeps, and welcome to another episode of Talking Paranormal with the old man. And as usual, I am the old man. How we doing today on this fine Sunday? Supposed to be in the 70s here all this week in Michigan, but of course, supposed to get some storms. Of course, I think Tuesday and Wednesday, I believe. So yeah, batten down the hatches. The basement's just finally getting dried out. So, and just a couple of points of interest here. If you're in the Michigan area or Indiana for that matter, uh, the paranormal conference convention thing in Charlevoix has been canceled. The plug has been pulled. It's off life support. And this is what I don't understand. Supposedly, the person that was setting this up, she's like the customer service relations, whatever. And she was, she talked to the owner, and the owner, gave her blessing. So yeah, let's start doing it, whatever. And then when they went last week to discuss it some more, the owner decided, yeah, well, you know what, you did all this work, and I don't think I want to do this anymore. Yeah, we've been there before, dudes. We've been there 3 or 4 times. Where as soon as we find stuff as far as paranormal stuff, and then nah, we don't want to be known as being haunted. It might hurt the business. No, actually, it'd be the opposite. It would help the business. Because if you did this right, you could offer tours. And supposedly, they do weddings up there and all this kind of stuff, which I understand. But it's like people that are doing the weddings most likely do not have an interest in the paranormal. And unless they're actively searching for this, they're not going to know that it's going to be in the same goddamn building. So yeah, am I a little pissed? Yeah, I am a little pissed because yeah, it's just happened before. Whatever. So that's been canceled. Life support unplugged. All that good shit. We are doing Bath. We're doing Bath. We're the Bath school bombing site. That's in Bath, Michigan. May 23rd. Times to be announced. Probably start about 8 o'clock. Hopefully it'll be a little bit warmer than it was last year when it was freaking windy and like 45 degrees. But here in Michigan, it could be snowing. Who the hell knows? And then we are still doing the Randolph County Asylum, and that is on July 18th in Winchester, Indiana. $63 to attend. And again, the money does not go to us. We don't see a dime. We had to pay ourselves to go into this overnight investigation. We have the asylum building to ourselves, just the group and the group, I mean Southeast Michigan Ghost Hunter Society, that is our group. And we have it for 16 hours. We have it from, excuse me, from 6 o'clock at night on the 18th until 10 o'clock in the morning on the 19th. So 16 hours of investigating. We have, like I said before, we have new equipment that we want to use. So we're going to see how this works out. So with that being said, let's dig into the topic for today. And as you know, because you've been, hearing me every week, we are doing, or I am doing, I should say, the Haunted America. When I did a podcast about the spirits and stuff, and I think I did Haunted UK, and a little light bulb went off in my head. Well, I have a big head, so a big light bulb went off in my head. Excuse me, God. It's like, why not do America? We have 50 states. Every state has their stories. So why not do that, right? So yeah. So today we continue our tour of America's haunted locations in Colorado. Now I have been to Colorado twice, but both times just at the airport. Flying into Denver, which is I think Stapleton International Airport, and this is a part that is screwy. Okay, we live in Michigan. We have the wife has family in Texas. Okay, so we were going down to see them. So we were going from Detroit because well, we have an airport here in Lansing, but it costs more because you have to get one of those little regional jets from here to Detroit or here to Chicago. So this is what I don't understand and I do understand the reasoning, but I don't understand it. We flew Frontier, and Frontier's hub is in Stapleton Airport. Okay, so we flew from Detroit to Denver, Stapleton International, and then we flew back east to San Antonio. Makes no sense to me. I understand. I understand, but it's stupid because you're flying past San Antonio. Then yeah, and then it was in April, so it was like freaking snowing in Denver. We had to get de-iced twice, and it just turned into a cluster. So yeah. So, anyways, let's get into top haunted locations in Colorado. I'm going to be reading. Again, I have not been to any haunted locations, so then this is not a definitive list. This is not the only list, but this is just some of the places that have been reputed as being haunted. Okay, so, and again, in no particular order, I'm going to be doing 3 websites today that have information. So hopefully I don't repeat, but some of these go into more detail. So that's kind of cool. So obviously, when you think haunted locations in Colorado, you think Stephen King, you think The Shining, and you think the Stanley Hotel, Estes Park. That's the town that's in. I want to go there one day. I mean, one day I probably will. It is known for phantom piano music and guests being tucked into bed by spirits in room 407. See, at least they tell you what room it is. So all of these are kind of short. The other ones will get into more detail. The Riverdale Road, which is in Thornton, Brighton, considered one of the most haunted roads in America. Okay, well, that's a high title there, with reports of joggers running alongside cars, phantom cars. Wait a minute. Oh, reports of joggers running alongside cars, phantom cars. I saw too many cars there, and burning trees. Okay, while I'm doing this, I'm going to get my old man glasses on because it's a little bit easier to read. So give me a second here while I put on my old man glasses because I can't see shit. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, so the St. Elmo Ghost Tour. Visitors report seeing Dirty Annie. And why is she dirty? We'll find out. Maybe not. I don't know. In the hotel window. What hotel? And smelling perfume in empty buildings. Okay. Okay, I understand this is a ghost town, but what hotel are you talking about to see Dirty Annie? And why is she dirty? Was she unbathed? Did she smell like she was unbathed? So yeah, I don't like that when I'm taking off my old man glasses. I can see better without them, believe it or not. Um, yeah, I don't understand that. I don't understand that. I mean, I understand it, but you need to give me more details. Okay, so she's in a hotel window. What hotel? If there's only one hotel in this ghost town, then okay, that is clarified. But if there's more than one hotel, it just makes it a little bit more murkier. All right. So the Peabody Whitehead Mansion in Denver, a notoriously haunted Denver home featuring tales of ghosts and reported paranormal activity, is now offering rentals. But again, what kind of activity? Is shit flying? You getting scratched? You getting pushed? You getting like tons of EVPs? You need to be more specific. Leadville Mines, the Moyer Mine and New Discovery Mine are reputedly haunted by, among others, a woman in a shroud. Okay, that's really a lot of information. Hotel Colorado in Glenwood Springs is hosts legends of colorful characters and lingering spirits. Don't. Again, this is very vague. Cripple Creek. I think all these are this vague. A former gold mining town where residents and visitors claim spirits. So wait a minute. Okay, see, I touched this before when I was talking about, I think Alabama or Arkansas, is you can have a ghost town, but okay, I'm sorry, this isn't a ghost town, my bad. But just to continue where I'm going with this, or I was going with this, is you can still have a ghost town, but still have residents living there, because the reason why it's a ghost town is the main economic reason for that town to be there is gone. Like mining, silver, gold, iron, I would assume coal, I would assume too. So yeah, so claim spirits from violent gunfights and fires still roam. Again, very, very, very vague. Um, okay, those are haunted experiences. So okay, what? close that useless window. Okay, so here, this is off the website Bucket List Community News. I like the title. So this is the top 5 guide, haunted history. Okay, this is just in Denver, Colorado. But again, it's just this their top 5. It's not my top 5. And again, who decides what is the best? You know, it's all congested. Not congested. It's not congested. I'm a little bit congested right now. It's all congesture. It's one person's opinion, and that's why I don't put much stock in this kind of stuff. Like, oh, the top 50 guitarists in rock and roll. Okay, that's your opinion. Now, if you're going this based on record sales, albums, um, uh, anything else, then yeah, but just one person. I mean, I could say, I like Gary Richrath of REO Speedwagon. Do you think he'll make the top 50? Probably not. You got Jimi Hendrix. You got Eric Clapton, which I think is, my opinion is not that, he's overrated. Then you have Jeff Beck, Dimebag Darrell, rest in peace, Dimebag. Eddie Van Halen, rest in peace, Eddie. You have, Mick Mars from Motley Crue, John Five. You got Scott Ian from Anthrax. You have, I can go on and on and on, and it's all my opinion. So, anyways, the top 5 guide, again, their top 5, not mine, of haunted history in Denver. Okay, of course, okay, this, excuse me, this tells me a little bit about who this person is. Okay, so this person that wrote it, Lucen, I think how you say that, is writing about Denver's haunted side is definitely outside of my comfort zone. I can appreciate that. I get scared easily, wimp, and avoid anything remotely creepy. Again, wimp. But I figured, why not challenge myself and discover Denver in a completely new way? The city has plenty to offer, but during the spooky season, but it's just not only during the spooky season, it could be all year round. Exploring the city's haunted side adds an exciting dimension to the experience. Yeah, I totally agree to that. All right, so I will be covering everything from guided ghost tours to haunted landmarks, but I will not do the tours. Cemeteries, dark history sites, and of course the haunted Denver International. See, I did not know that Stapleton Airport was haunted, but I guess we'll find out today. I guess, huh? Okay, so we are going to do. Okay, so the Peabody. So the first one, it looks like, is the. Wait, hold on. I'm trying to see here what's going on. What is this? Okay, well let's do. I guess let's do the guided ghost tours. Even though I don't like to promote people like that, but for those interested in ghost hunting, hello. Denver has a variety of guided ghost tours available. Nightly Spirits, for instance, offers 6 different tours, including one suitable for all ages. It's Lodu and Sobu tours. I'm sorry. Both start at $29.50 per person and provides exclusive access to haunted sites in like the Denver distillery. So just one place, okay. Said to be the most haunted distillery in the city. Why? The tours cover about a mile of walking and visit up to 300 bars. Oh, I'm saying, yeah, dude, my mind's out. Okay, 3 haunted bars. I would say 300 bars. Shit. So 3 haunted bars. See how 300 3 haunted. It sounds very similar. Ensuring plenty of liquid courage as you encounter the spirits of South Broadway. Yeah, but the problem with that is if you're doing the alcohol, it's like that might make you see spirits. Okay. And another thing too is we just talking about spirits and stuff. We took a ghost tour in New Orleans 2 years ago when we were there, and I picked the ghost tour that was supposedly gone to John Lafitte's bar, the supposedly oldest bar I think in America. That is still operating, and I believe we were supposed to get a free drink, and supposedly that place is haunted, and they have seen apparitions and all that kind of stuff there. So that's the reason why I took that tour, or I booked that tour. So we get on the freaking tour, we walked past John Lafitte's bar, but never went inside the damn thing. So yeah, I went on and gave him kind of like a shitty review because I picked you because you were supposed to go to John Lafitte, and you didn't stop at John Lafitte's. And the chick that was doing it wasn't that good, but anyways. The Capitol Hill Ghost Tour is another popular opinion or option, starting at 910 Sherman Street and lasting about 2 hours. It takes you past several historic mansions, including the Crawford Hill Mansion, the Colorado State Capitol, and the quote haunted Peabody Whitehead Mansion. This tour does not involve entering the sites, but instead you tell the stories. Yeah, whatever. Offered is $20. It also offers tours of the Denver Capitol Building, Molly House, the Molly Brown House, and the Croak Patterson Campbell House. Tickets start at $25. Okay, so this is okay. So this is okay. See, this is haunted landmarks. So for a more focused experience, haunted landmark tours are a great choice. One of the most famous is the Molly Brown House. Now, if that sounds familiar, she's the unsinkable Molly Brown from the Titanic incident. That's coming. Actually, that's I think she sunk or she hit the iceberg today, April 12th. Well, that's kind of a winky dinky, ain't it? Wow. Okay, yeah. I'm talking about the unsinkable Molly Brown, and today's when the Titanic set sail from Southampton, I believe, and then she sinks on the morning of April 15th. Okay, well, maybe that's a sign. Okay. Yeah, one of the most famous is the Molly Brown house, the former house of Titanic survivor Margaret Brown, unsinkable Molly Brown. This house turned museum offers both self-guided and guided tours, giving visitors a glimpse into Brown's fascinating life. While the haunted aspect wasn't overwhelming for me, I'm assuming him or her, there are stories of ghost encounters, including sightings of Molly herself. That would be freaking cool. And other mysterious spirits. Learn more at mollybrown.org. It's kind of a small house. Okay, so then after visiting the Molly Brown house, it's the Peabody Mansion. Oh, that's kind of a cool car, actually. Um, so the Peabody White House Mansion or Whitehead Mansion caught my eye. Its eerie reputation and the difficulty I had finding its exact address intrigued me. The mansion is surrounded by gates with a rusted locked door and an old car parked in front, which adds to the eerie atmosphere. Even in broad daylight, the house gave off a chilling energy. Well, if you're a wuss, yeah, it's going to. I couldn't imagine walking there by it at night. Oh, I could. Okay, so this is kind of boring actually. Um, well, you know what? They don't really tell you about the stories. You know what? That's the top five kind of fizzled because it's not that good, man. I'm sorry, it is not that good. Okay, let's try to go down here. Well, then you know what? I think I'll save that one for last. Okay, this is Colorado.com. This is Haunted Colorado, hotspots for ghost hunters. Okay, an ethereal woman dressed in black who vanishes if you get too close. An apparition that plays slots in the hotel casino or local casino. That's interesting. Unexplained flashes of light that show up only in photographs. These are the actual accounts of the supernatural side of Colorado. So I like this one better so far. I like this one better. So this is the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park. It's a big ass hotel. If you haven't, just look it up. It's humongous. Okay, so get into the Halloween, but again, this could be any time of the year. Okay, get into the spook. Okay. These do have a little bit of history. Okay, this is a little bit better. That top five is sucked. It sucked. It tanked. Um, so get into the spirit of Halloween at some of the following eerie spots. You will certainly get goosebumps, and who knows, you may even scare up a specter or two. So the above mentioned Stanley Hotel. Stephen King got the idea for The Shining while staying at this sprawling, more than a century old hotel in Estes Park, where children's laughter is often heard in deserted hallways and ghostly strains of piano music emanate from the empty ballroom. There are no shortages of spooky inspiration at the Stanley Hotel. In fact, the hotel is so haunted they offer nighttime spirit tours that can take you to some of the creepiest areas of the hotel, including an underground tunnel. Now that would be freaking cool. That would be cool. So the next one is the Museum of Colorado Prisons in Canyon City. It has that little weird thing over the end. So Ca- Canaan City. I don't. Let's just say Canyon City for the sake of argument. I could be here all day trying to figure out how to pronounce that. So the Museum of Colorado Prisons, housed in a former women's correctional facility in Canyon City, sounds good to me. Both the exhibits and venue of the Museum of Colorado Prisons reflect a history of the state's prison system, not to mention the inmates and staff who roamed the historic cell house and whose spirits are rumored to linger. Reports of cold spots and the smell of tobacco. That's how they say it down south. I know this is not, Colorado's not down south, but tobacco. Tobacco for everyone else, but if you're down south, and I'm not from the south, but tobacco, have been attributed to the old laundry room, while the female prisoner said to haunt cell 19. Can you imagine where she passed away? Can you imagine being a female prisoner? You passed away in a cell, and now you're still freaking there for eternity. That would suck, man. Now, question: has she served her life sentence? Can she be, paroled now? Because she did serve her life prison. She died in prison, technically. For an in-depth experience, book a spot on one of the paranormal investigation nights. Ooh, that'd be cool. See, you had me at that until you said when experts lead a thrilling ghost hunt complete with the latest technology to capture your own proof. See, that turned it off for me because, as you all know, I have an issue with experts in the paranormal field because there is none. There are no experts. An expert means that you know, by definition, an expert means that you know everything there is to know about that topic. And the paranormal is the furthest thing away from knowing everything there is. Every time we go on a ghost hunt, we learn something new. Something else happens that has never happened before. New theories, whatever. So yeah, just just say that you are well educated in the paranormal, okay, which I would consider me as well educated. I've been one for 30 years in a paranormal investigator, okay. We've been hundreds of investigations, had a lot of experiences happen to us. I do not call myself an expert. And you see these TV shows. I know I'm on a rant. These TV shows, oh, paranormal expert. What have you done? Oh, I've been a paranormal investigator for 2 years. Whoop-dee shit. That don't make you an expert, dude. That makes you a freaking rookie, wet behind the ears. You have to up those years to about 30, 35 years. Then we can talk. Yeah, and then that's why I don't go on these tours. They have tours like in Detroit and shit. There's this one Whitney Hotel. They have air quotes exclusive paranormal group that they work with. Okay, that's fine. And then you can pay to eat there, and then go on an investigation after. But I will be damned if I'm going to have some snot nosed kid that's been doing this for 2 years show me how to use the equipment. Show me how to do an investigation. I do not think so. That's never going to happen in my lifetime. So that's why we have not been there because I absolutely refuse. And I also absolutely refuse to go on any ghost hunts that you can't free roam. That's why we have not gone to Waverly Hills Sanitarium in Louisville, Kentucky for a long time because they used to have it where they would give you a tour guide that told you how long you could spend on each floor. Hell no. I paid the money. I drove the 6 hours down there. My own choice. My own choice. I'm going wherever the hell I want. Okay. Rant over. Okay. Central City Masonic Cemetery. I do like myself a cemetery. Unexplained orbs of light mar photograph, but they don't really mar photographs. Mar means they are ruining the photographs. Taken at the Central City Cemetery at night. A little boy has been seen following visitors. That's cool. Around the grounds, ducking behind trees whenever they try to talk to him. He's trying to avoid you. Other strange character, a woman in black, but at least it's not a woman in white, appears twice a year and places columbines. What the hell? On the grave of resident John Edward Cameron. Okay, if you know me, I need to know what a columbine is because I have no freaking idea what that is. I'm assuming it's some kind of flower. Yes, dude, I know. I am now an expert in botology. Is that what it is? If you know plants, I gotta find out. I think it's I think it's botany, expertise in plants, botanical, but I think it is a botanist. So I am a botanist. So I am now technically a botanist because I know what a columbine is. So that makes me an expert. Do you see where I'm coming with, where I'm going with this at? Same thing with ghost hunting. And I know I need to get out this rant, but it irritates the hell out of me. Expert in paranormal bullshit. So anyways, okay, so the columbine is a plant. Yeah, it's kind of pretty actually. So yeah, it is a plant. Okay, they have like a giant columbine, a blue columbine, and a crimson star. My personal preference would be the giant columbine. That looks pretty cool. It's purple, white with the yellow pollen things in the center. That's cool. Okay, so get back. So, a woman in black places flowers. See, why did they just say flowers? On the grave of Reverend John Edward Cameron. Any attempts to find out more about this mysterious woman has been fruitless. She vanishes into thin air when visitors approach. While wandering the cemetery after dark is considered trespassing, you always get permission. Ooh, but the Gilpin County Historical Society leads creepy crawls around the city's ghostliest sites in October. Now, see, that's cool. That is some society that enhance or not enhances. Oh, that word. God dang it. Embraces that embraces the paranormal part of cemeteries. And excuse me, I get it. If I have a loved one buried in a cemetery, I don't want people tramping around at night. Okay, but if it's done with a historical society, creepy crawls, hell yeah, I'll be there. Some of the best places you can be to is the cemetery. All right, so this other one is it's in Cripple Creek has a long storied history and the ghostly remnants to prove it. Among the town sites are Buffalo Billy's Casino, inhabited by the spirit of a young girl who draws on the walls and makes bar glasses fly through the air. That's kind of cool. And the Colorado Grande Casino, haunted by Maggie, a turn of the century Irish woman who smells strongly of roses. Well, at least she has a pleasant smell to her, and plays slots after hours. Can you imagine? But okay, if she wins, does she have to pay taxes? Just curious because she's already dead. I don't know. Curious minds want to know. Other haunted places include the Hotel St. Nicholas and the Mount Pi- Pigou Cemetery, which offers tours in late September. Okay, the cemetery looks kind of cool. Looks like it might be a military cemetery. They have a Huey helicopter mounted there, so it looks like it might be a veterans, or at least maybe a veterans section of the cemetery. Okay, so then so in Denver itself, among Denver's haunted hotspots are the Brown Palace Hotel, which offers. Oh, see, I like Colorado already, which offers enduring spirit tours to provide two private groups plus ghost tours in October, and the Molly Brown House, which I talked about earlier, where light bulbs unscrew themselves. That could be the maintenance guy, and the door from the dining room to the kitchen opens and closes on its own. Perhaps the most chilling of Denver's haunted spots is Cheeseman's Park, the graveyard. Ooh, check this shit out. The graveyard turned public park. Oh my God, which inspired the movie Poltergeist. I was just about ready to say that. When the area was converted from a graveyard to a park in the late 1800s, oh my God, in the 1800s, a half-hearted attempt was made to relocate the bodies. It is believed that many remain buried beneath the park, and the surrounding houses are rumored to get visits from spirits. Oh, that'd be so freaking cool. One particular haunted house, the Henry Treat Rogers Mansion, that's a mouthful, has since been demolished. Oh, but not before inspiring the story of channeling, which actor Russell Hunter based on the real life events he experienced while living there. The channeling. I'll have to see what that's about. Oh, that's cool, man. Cheeseman Park. It was a graveyard. Now it's a oh man. And if it's a public park, the excitement is building for me here. You could freaking be there at night because it's a public park and do an investigation. Oh, that's so freaking cool. Cheese Park Park or Cheeseman Park. I gotta look that up. Hotel Colorado. Talked about this earlier. The 1893 Glenwood Springs accommodation is known as one of the state's most haunted, thanks to the paranormal activity that takes place under its roof. Well, yeah. Both guests and staff have reported getting goose pimples at the sounds of a woman wailing, and the lights are known to flicker unexpectedly. Not spooky enough for you? Not yet. Hotel Colorado's eeriness is ramped up by the fact that the basement was once used as a crematorium for World War II military personnel. Oh man, this shit is just getting better and better and better, dude. Okay, so the next one is the Phantom Canyon Road. Not for the faint of heart, Phantom Canyon Road is a detour off the Gold Belt Tour Byway and the former route of the Florence and Cripple Creek Railroad. Okay, the drive itself is thrilling as the narrow, unpaved road climbs 4,000 feet in elevation, twisting and turning through eerie mountain tunnels. That's kind of cool. And centuries-old ghost towns of Wilbur, Adelaide, and Glenbrook. As you near Cripple Creek, you may spot the specters who give the road its name, phantoms, I would assume, particularly the ghost of a uniformed 1890s prison inmate who was spotted walking the railway days after he was executed. But what prison was he executed at? Again, inquiring minds want to know. Okay, they have other ghost tours and events, but I'm not going to do that. I don't like that part of it. So let's close this. Okay, so the last one we have is Haunted Colorado. And then what they have on their Facebook or on their website is the Stanley Hotel. Okay, so let's just see what they got here. Okay, so I don't care about that. Okay, so here is an interesting one. See, I could probably do one just on this alone. They talk about some of the like the haunted jailhouse. They talk about some of the tales. Too much to read. Let's see if I can find one here. Well, here's a Colorado Spring residence. I tried to tour the museum when it opened, but I couldn't make it around the entire building. I got sick and ended up leaving the middle of the tour. That night, I had nightmares about the place. I will not ever go back. Here's one from a Cripple Creek resident. Once I stopped on the side of the building to take a piss. Oh, I'm sorry, to fix a flat, and thought I heard someone screaming inside. I don't know much about the place, but I heard that the paranormal teams have been inside and have gotten strange recordings. Yeah, again, that could be speculative. You know, they could be doing anything. Let me read one more. So this is one more. Let's see, one that looks kind of interesting here. Um, yeah, that's not scary, dude. How about this one? I guess. Nah, not really. Okay, I'm not. Well, I've enticed you. So okay, let's do one more from a Colorado Springs residence. I pass by the jail every day to go to work, and I always walk on the opposite side of the street. Wimp. Well, why? Because I get a strange feeling that someone is watching me. Well, they probably are. Okay, so the Hotel St. Cloud in Canyon City. This haunted is said. So again, it has just a history. So yeah, I mean that seems to be um, okay. So yeah, so the Hotel St. Cloud in Canyon City. It does not say anything about it. It's a cool building though. It does not say anything about it as far as stories or whatever. So we'll skip by that. Here's the one that is the used to be the Henry Treat Rogers Mansion, which is no longer standing. It was at 1739 East 13th Avenue in Denver. Remember the last one I read, the Channeling House. So there's a whole bunch of shit here that again I'm not going to read. Um, yeah, I'm not going to read all that. It's like yeah, that's a whole bunch to read. So I'm not going to read. What does that say? Okay, yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and. But yeah, look it up. I guess the Channeling House, the very haunted Patterson Inn B&B. That's a B&B. Holy shit! That's like a freaking man. That's a mansion, man. That's not a B&B. Um, yes, there's a whole bunch of ones here too. Well, how about we do this? There was a chick. Her name was Anne Alexander Leggett. I don't know who the hell she is. Does it say who she is up here? Let's see. Okay. Okay. She co-authored a haunted history of Denver's Croak Patterson Mansion with her daughter Jordan. Okay, mom and a daughter team. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's read one that caught my attention is the attempted exorcism, number 7. So that what's her name? Anne Alexander Leggett. I've never heard of that book, by the way, but but whatever. Um, so the exorcism. When the woman who lived there had the triplets, so I guess there's triplets there. She had a friend who brought in a priest who was going to bless the house, kind of exercise. Well, but you're not blessed. Okay, when you exercise a house, you're not blessing it. Two different things, and no disrespect there. And and what's her fucking name? What's her name? Anne Alexander Leggett. No disrespect, but I'm not going to read your book. Not that I was going to, but you have you. It was not kind of an exercise. You do. It's two different things: blessing the house and exercising the spirits within or the person is two different things. Get your story straight before you start writing stuff like this because this is absolutely wrong. So they brought in a priest. He walked in and immediately went into the front parlor to start this blessing. Okay, yeah, blessing. See, all of a sudden, all the plaster started to peel off this fireplace was, and this dark vortex of wind comes out of the fireplace. The priest just left. Well, okay, well, let's move on because that already turns me off, and that reeks of BS. That reeks of trying. That reeks of trying to sell a book. That's basically what that reeks of. Okay, see, it's first thing in the morning here, and I'm already riled up. Jesus, criminy. All right. So this is ghostly tales. Okay, the haunted tours. I don't try to do that if I can possibly help it. Um, okay, so there's a yeah. Okay, so I think well, let's see. This one here enticed me. What is this? The haunted Redstone Castle. Okay, the haunted or the historic manor is haunted. I can attest to that. Says Sue McAvoy. For the past 9 years, McAvoy has been the curator of the hotel, the castle, in the mountainside above Carmondale. She says guests have reported strange incidents. Okay, what kind of incidents? There's also a legend that spirits hover in a secret passageway that connects the nursery to the servants' quarters. But what spooks McAvoy, who has lived on the property for 6 years, is the ghostly cigar smoke. So I'll read these last two lines and call it a day because this haunted Colorado. It started pretty good, man, with that park, Cheeseman Park, but then it's going in the crapper from there. Personally, okay. So at the turn of the century, robber baron John Cleveland Osgood completed the 42-room English Tudor mansion in 1902 for the then outlandish sum of more than 2.5 million. That's a shitload of money now. How much money? How much money do you ask? Let me find out. So what is 2.5 million dollars in what was it? 1909, I think it was. Where the hell was it at? 1902. So what is $2.5 million in 1902 worth today? So, holy shit balls, man. So, 1902, 2.5 million is equivalent in purchasing power to approximately, check this shit out, 94.99 million to 97.26 million in 2026. Holy shit. That must have been a big ass house. He reportedly wanted to impress fellow industrialists such as J.P. Morgan, Jay Gould, John D. Rockefeller, and President Teddy Roosevelt. Osgood, who made his fortune in coal and steel, but wait a minute though. What is a robber? Okay, he made his fortune in coal and steel. What is a robber baron? I don't know. I assumed he robbed. He was an outlaw. I don't know what this is. Um, I have no idea. Okay, Robert. See, you learn. See, this podcast is very educational certain times because and I did not know this. See, this is your education part. A robber baron is a derogatory term for powerful 19th century American industrialists and financiers who amassed immense wealth through unethical and monopolistic practices. So basically, politicians and lawyers today. Okay, all right, that makes sense to me. Okay. Um, he died in 27, but McAvoy thinks he is still floating around. She believes she has smelled his cigar smoke. So the last line is the door to his bedroom was closed, the windows were open. I could smell cigar smoke, but no one else was on the property that you know of. Okay, yep. Let's end it there. Like I said, yeah, like well, this is interesting. Yeah, let's end it there. Okay, so that was Haunted Colorado. Started out good. Definitely got to look at Cheeseman Park. Yeah, Cheeseman Park looks really interesting. It was a freaking graveyard turned into a park. Hell yeah, they left bodies there. It was like rush, let's get this shit done. So, yep, very cool, very cool, very cool. All right, guys, I got some other things to do today, so I'm going to sign off. If you like this podcast, I do have two YouTube channels, video reaction. One is music, and the other one is the paranormal. And of course, the music one is called Musical Chairs, because I try to introduce people to my whole wide range of music. And the paranormal one, of course, is Talking Paranormal with the Old Man. Easy to remember, right? And I do reaction videos, or I react to videos on the paranormal. And I try to be as honest as possible. As I hate these shows on TV that, they, agree with everything that's being shown as being definitely paranormal. No one, I understand. It's a paying gig. You want that paying gig. I understand. I do understand. But you have to be honest and stuff. You can't agree with everything. That's called being a sheep, man. You can't follow everything blindly because someone tells you to. I want to know why. And if I see something that is BS, I'll claim BS, man. I won't lie. At least, yeah, whatever. We won't go there. How's that? So again, thank you for listening. And again, if you share this with your friends and stuff, say, hey, there's this dude. He has a cool podcast. Guy's an idiot, but he is kind of funny at times. So I would appreciate it. And until we meet again, stay away from the light. Unless that's your thing, dude. You have to be more afraid of the living than you do of the dead. That's fact. And be kind to yourselves, guys, and be kind to others. So, without further ado, until next week, bye bye.
I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Goodbye.